At this time, I would like to introduce the 2012-2013 Young Men with Power Program participants. And Isaiah Smith. Let's give a round of applause for all of our participants.
Good evening, everyone. Isn't this a wonderful evening? I mean, look at these gentlemen right here. Give them a big round of applause right now. Like Mr. Jeter said, my name is Rodney Dodson. I was deeply humbled and honored about the opportunity to mentor this group of future leaders of Baltimore, the young men with power. Well, you see, there was a time in my life where I needed mentorship. When family came, not only in the form of being blood related, but church and community related as well. Having a sense of direction was not only a must, it was an expectation. I shared with the young men how I grew up in West Baltimore, Walbrook Junction area at a time when some would say there were more obstacles than opportunities. I encouraged them to never let their environment determine their outcome. So in designing a career development workshop that catered toward the young men with power, Mr. Jeter and I had several conversations about the things that they like. Can anybody guess what's the one thing that linked mostly all of these young men? Sports? Music? No, it was candy. So at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning, needless to say, we had no problems with interaction. Sorry, Karen. I designed workshops into 3 distinct parts that will hopefully give them a pathway toward deciding on a career. First, I dared them to dream. To not only dream while they were asleep, but most importantly, dream while they are awake. I told them of a story of a dream that I had started in middle school, Roland Park to be exact, and how that dream of having a successful R&B singing group led me to tour with a multi-platinum hip-hop artist named Busta Rhymes in Europe for 19 different cities. Yes, real dreams do come true. Secondly, I dared them to believe. I explained to them that dreaming is nothing without believing, and believing gives your dreams validation. And of course, I inspired them to believe in themselves when others don't. And lastly, I dared them to position themselves. In this section, we discuss how easy it is to get sidetracked by those who don't know your purpose. This was an amazing experience. 2 other mentors assisted me, Dr. Sidney Nelson and Pastor Quentin Herbert, who are here today. However, they and I remain steadfast in mentoring youth in the community and inspiring change one day at a time. Ultimately, our goal as a community, city, and nation should be to reinstill aspiration back into our youth. We must be willing to effectively communicate and grow with the future generations in order to see wonderful accomplishments, such as tonight, as we celebrate our young men with power. Thank you.
I am so happy to see these young men who have completed this program. There's an old poem I love that says, "A goal properly set is halfway reached." They set a goal to be a part of this program, to go through the requirements that came and set, to come Saturday after Saturday to each program to fulfill those requirements. I had the privilege to go through the financial literacy part with them. And I was taken aback by them being so young, but they were so ambitious. I had scientists and astronauts, football players and lawyers, ambitious goals. By no means that cannot be reached by them. So when we went through the financial literacy part, I made sure that they knew what their credit rating was, make sure that they would make smart financial decisions, that their financial goals would be pragmatic and realistic, that they would not buy into the commercialization of fast cars and quick money.
All right.
So, my speech is not long, but I just want to say how proud I am of you all for being young men, young black men, who have goals, who are well-bred, have good manners, great sense of humor. And they were mostly Ravens fans, so I have to give them up for that. But as we have all gathered here today to celebrate them, I just want to leave you with this. As you grow up in the age and go through life, don't lose that light that I saw throughout these weeks that I've had with you. With that ambition you have, add a little bit of practice. With that drive you have, fight through the struggles and the failures. But most of all, remain the black men that I talk to, that I love, and that I admire. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brian Easley, and I am the Executive Director of Project Focus. I was made aware of young men with power through a high school classmate, Mr. Matthew Fulton, who was aware of the work that my organization does in the community. He told me about a young man, Mr. Keenan G., or a young man who attended his church, Mr. Keenan G., who was starting a mentoring program. At the conclusion of our conversation, the plan was that Matt would introduce, or Matt would hook me up with Keenan. Once Keenan contacted me, and I heard his passion and sincere desire to help these young men, I was all in. I mean, all in. Hearing his vision, his plans for the future, I couldn't do anything less than assist him. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
That's all right. Take your time, brother.
All right. So, I agreed to facilitate a professional dress workshop, an area that, as you can see, I had
Yes, sir.
some experience in. Doing outreach throughout the various neighborhoods of Baltimore City, one's hopes can wait with all, the situations that are going on. But after working with these young men, I felt a renewed optimism. I felt that change was coming, that our young men had a future. In closing, I would just like to encourage participants to remember, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And also, I would like to thank Keenan and all of you all for allowing me the opportunity to work with you. Thanks again.
You forgot about me, but it's okay. I still love you.
everyone. My name is Carla Matthews. I was first introduced to Mr. Jeter through my good friend, Brian Easley. Brian came to me and asked me, you know, there's this organization of young men and they do great things, and we want to know if you will do a presentation on health and wellness. Easy, really easy for me. I've been in healthcare for over 30 years now. And Miss Lane, who was one of my teachers in high school, I'm not going to say which year, Miss Lane. But it was a privilege and an honor for me to help to facilitate that workshop. And thank you for your gracious invitation, Mr. Jeter. My presentation to these young men was solely based on getting them an awareness of the diseases and illnesses that surround our community, the African American community. I discussed issues about diabetes, hypertension. We went over some sexually transmitted diseases. So we took those illnesses and diseases and I broke it down into terms where it was very easy for them to understand. And these are very intelligent young men, very intelligent. And so once I broke it down, they were asking questions and they seemed very interested in what was going on. A lot of them were familiar with some of these illnesses due to their family members or friends having these diseases. And also we went into proper eating habits, things that are going to help you as far as your energy level, when to eat, when not to eat, and things of that nature. These young men have such a wonderful opportunity in order to become successful and productive members of society. Working towards your goal with care and confidence means having the utmost of integrity and regard for others as you climb. Keeping others' interests at heart helps ensure confidence with your next step of climbing higher. In closing, just remember that no goal is too high if we climb with care and confidence. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. Thank you.
Choo-choo! Choo-choo! My name is Allison Villette Lane, and I am the conductor and founder of Campaign Train Group. I help people and organizations and chemists around the world to form their message, to form their campaign team, and to form their operational systems once they are in office. On January 5th, 2012, I had the grand opportunity to get on board with these 16 young men. And oh, what a wonderful ride it has been. And I want to thank two of the co-conductors, Mr. Lawrence Dunbar and Mr. Marcus Dent, for taking my picture for being along for that ride. Some of the stations that we went to were how to connect with your audience, how to engage your audience, how to project your voice, how to use props. Mr. Kevin Parson, are you in the room?
I'm right here.
Mr. Kevin Parson gave us a wonderful instruction on how to use props. Then we had a wonderful opportunity for journalist Barry Sims to join us. And a couple of the young men with power interviewed Mr. Sims. Who did? Victor, Isaiah, and who else? Tyrone. We turned the tables on Mr. Sims. We let him show us one of his previews and one of his broadcasts, and then these young men interviewed him. And the most popular question I received after that was, can I conduct the next interview? As we moved on, we had speakers come in to help these young men frame their speech. And I came up with a concept called the 5 I's of inspirational speaking. And I'm not going to explain what those are because these young men are going to explain that and demonstrate that and illustrate that tonight. And then last Saturday, Taskmaster Keenan Jeter, where is he? The main conductor. He had us to rehearse those speeches. Gentlemen, how many times? At least 10 times. 10 times. Because we took on the mantra that no practice And tonight, we're going to see perfection from these young men of power who know how to speak with power.
Wow. Just looking around the room, I had to remind myself that it was Friday because everybody looks Sunday's best. My name is Lawrence Dunbar. I'm a motivational speaker / inspirational speaker, and I had the privilege to work with these wonderful, fantastic young men with power. And one of the things that I did was help to assist them to be authentic, to develop their voice, because it's important for them to be able to express themselves and articulate themselves in a way where people want to support them, whether morally, financially, and just with time. But however, developing your voice is not just for the young men with power, it's for everyone in this room, because we all have dreams, we all have ideas that we need to express, because the world needs to be able to hear that. And before I close, I ask for everybody's participation in the room who can get involved with this process. Can everybody stand for a moment, please? Now I want you to put your right hand on your forehead as if we in the military right now. And I want you to repeat after me. I from this day forward, commit myself to developing my voice. Because the world needs a voice. The world needs my voice. My name is Lawrence Dunbar, and God bless.
First, giving honor to God. I want to thank you, Delegate Duran, for your very, very kind words. I want to thank all of you for being here this evening to celebrate the lives of our children. When I heard about this event, I just wanted to be here. Keenan, usually I don't do things on Friday nights. That is the one night that I have dedicated to my wife. We call it date night. Yeah. Amen. But she and I agreed that this was the most important date that I could be a part of. When I think about Keenan, Jeter, and Keith Jackson, and the facilitators, and every single person who has anything to do with this program, I must tell you, in the words of my mother, who only had a second grade education, she would say, "You make my heart fly." Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Make my heart fly. Don't act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all got some grandmama or somebody who say things just like that. And to Pastor Lester Korn, I want to thank you. A lot of you all don't know this. This is Keenan's pastor, but this is a pastor who understands that not only must he pastor his flock, but he has to go beyond the walls of his church, as my mother would say, and help other people outside the flock. And so, when I see what's happening with Keenan and what Keenan has done with this program, and I asked him, we talked about his pastor, and he was talking about how supportive his pastor has been to him. It just goes to show you how contagious this thing is. Come on now, don't leave me out here by myself. So, and to the young man, I am so proud of you all. Man, y'all looking good. Y'all looking good. To Brandon Scott, Brandon, I thank you for your leadership, for what you have brought to our city council.
And every time I see you and I hear you, I'm just inspired. Thank you. I'm going to be very, very brief because I know your dinners are on their way. But as I listen to the facilitators, I changed my whole message. I'm one who comes from the heart. And there's a verse in the Bible. I don't mean to be Bible on y'all, but there's a verse that I just want to share, and I'm going to be brief. And it's the Message version of Psalm 139. When you get home, read it. Verses 13 through 16. Listen to this, young man. It says, "Oh yes, you shaped me first inside, then out. You formed me in my mother's womb. I thank you, my God. You're breathtaking. Body and soul, I am marvelously made. I worship in adoration. What a creation. You know me inside and out. You know every bone in my body. You know exactly how I was made bit by bit, how I was sculpted from nothing into something. Like an open book. You watched me grow from conception to birth. All the stages of my life were spread out before you. The days of my life all prepared me before I had even lived one day." Amen. That's a verse. The reason why I chose that verse is because I am convinced the longer I live, I have been constantly in search, Teron, for why did God place me on this earth? Okay. And when I look at these young men, I know that there is a purpose for their lives. That's right. We may have a doctor over here, or a teacher over there, or the president of the United States over there. Yes, sir. The question is not whether they have a certain destiny. It is what is the enemy of their destiny. What is the enemy of their destiny? Yes, sir. Kenan has done a marvelous job of molding them and sculpting them. But now the question is, how will they reach their destiny? And so I just have just a few things that I want to share with them. I hope y'all don't mind me having a conversation with them. First to our young men, I want y'all to have high expectations. Have high expectations. I'm tired of our people, so many of them, having low expectations. The other day, Pastor McGorn, I was in, I live in the inner city. See, hello, I live on the Do the Right Thing block. I live on Madison near North for 32 years. And I have told people I will not leave there until I die. But in the 3200 block, in the 2000 block of Madison Avenue, there was a lady last week who came along and she was hollering. And in my block, it's not like it's a gated community. You hear everything in the street. And she would say, "Hey, Carol, where are you, Carol? Carol, where are you?" And so I'm saying to myself, I don't know no Carol. I've been here 32 years. There's only about 22 block houses in the neighborhood. So I came out and I said, "You looking for who?" She said, "I'm looking for Carol. Me and my brother, we looking for Carol." I said, "Well," who is Carol? Now listen to what she said. She said, "Come here, Billo. Billo was the brother." We in the black community, we can make up some names. happened is my brother died. When my brother died, he used to collect cans in his block. And you can only get this in the black community. So he used to collect cans in his block. And he died. And so what we wanted to do, we got the obituary, and we wanted to let the slave lady Miss Pearl know, because he always used to talk about how nice Miss Pearl was to him. And so we wanted to let her know that he died. And we wanted to give her a copy of the obituary. Okay? I said, but no, Miss Pearl lives here. But then, Pastor, while I was getting frustrated, and because they just wouldn't believe that no Pearl lived there, I realized that there must be a blessing in here somewhere. But then the young man said, yeah, my brother, he wasn't much younger. He just about a year and a half younger than me, man, and he died of a heart attack. I knew there was something there. So I said, well, you look kind of young yourself. He said, yeah, I'm 41. I said, how old was your brother? He said, 39. I said, well, did he have a history? As I get older, I'm always wondering how people die. Hello. Don't act like I'm out here by myself. That's my first question. How you die? And this is what he said. He said he knew he had a heart condition. But he determined, he said, that he was going to die anyway. So he never went back for his checkups. He never did any of that. And he died. And the way he said it was if it was all right to die at 39. Can I break this down for my young? I know y'all trying to figure out where I'm going. He had low expectations. He had low expectations, Parsons. And so, instead of living to be a grandfather who could lift up his grandchildren and one who could pass on knowledge and one who could do for his family, he's dead. And so, we must, all of us, have high expectations. Another enemy of our destiny is this pity party stuff. I'm tired of the pity parties. I must be getting older now. I can speak my mind. I say whatever is on my mind. But I'm tired of people who are already complaining about complaining about everything and doing nothing. There are people here who came here tonight. Who complaining about your program. I don't know who they are. I ain't been here long enough to hear them. But there are people here complaining about your program. Oh, they should have had more boys than that. My boy didn't even get in. And they are doing nothing. And so I say to our young brothers, as you go out there, don't get caught up in the pity party thing. Can I tell you something? If you got depressed over everything you don't have, you will be depressed all the time. Every morning when I get up, I thank God. I thank God for everything. I say thank God for just opening my eyes. I do. I say thank God for letting me be able to see. Let me be able to walk. Let me be able to go outside. Let me be able to just wave my hand. Let me be able to think. Let me be able to talk. Let me be able to do all the things that my body allows me to do. And what I'm saying to you is that we have to value, oh God, what we have. What happens so often is that people, us, spend so much time concentrating on what they don't have that they don't cultivate what they do. Look at Peter. Look at Peter. Started with nothing. That's right. I take that back. I take it back. Rewind. He started with passion. I don't know what his life was like. I don't know how he came up, but there's a passion that's going on in this man. I don't know where it came from. And you heard one of the facilitators say, I just want, once I met this guy who dresses. Who is that guy who dresses? Oh, you. I think it was you. I'm almost finished. Where was I? Passion. You heard what he said? One of the facilitators said, the reason why I joined him is because I could feel his passion. I could feel his passion. Can I tell you a little secret? When you get passion, the world will join you on your mission. And let me break down why the world will join you. See, I've studied my life, Pastor, and I study every day of my life. I've written about my life for the last 40 years. And I study my life. And one thing that I've discovered is that there has been a lot of pain. There has been pain in seeing relatives die from cancer. There's been pain of poverty. There's been all kinds of pain that I've gone through. But you know what I realized? That the pain helped me develop a passion to carry out my purpose. So our young men, I'm trying to tell you that as you go through life, you're going to have disappointments. You're going to cry some tears. You're going to have a girlfriend that look like the best thing that ever lived. And she going to quit you. I've been there. I had a girl where she was looking, but when the sun came up, she just came up with the sun and stayed up when the sun went down. And girlfriend quit me one day. Quit me just high and dry, just quit me. I was depressed. I was depressed. Brothers, y'all know what I'm talking about, depressed. But I'm so glad now that she quit me, because if she hadn't quit me, I would not have met my wife. Oh, I was glad now. What I'm saying is when bad things happen to you, my brothers, when bad things happen to you, don't ask the question, why did it happen to me? Ask, why did it happen for me? What's in this for me? And there people look at it and they're shaking their heads because they know what I'm talking about. There are things that happen that they thought were the worst things that ever happened, but now that when they look back, they're glad that they happened. It may have been the job that they didn't get, the boyfriend that they didn't get, or whatever. But when they look back, as I finish, I want you to go out and mentor other young brothers. I told Keenan, I said, Keenan, the thing that I want and I'm hoping is that you don't let these brothers go. And this is what I told him. I said, the best asset that they have is each other. Is each other. And when I looked at them, I couldn't help but think about my nephew and how he was gunned down. Gunned down at 20 years old, laying in his bed, college student, junior to senior year. Talk to him every other day. Remind me every time I see our young men marching and looking good, and I see them like this, it makes me think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to protect our sons. We have to embrace them. They are precious. But as I close, let me leave you with what I'm going to leave you the words of my nephew that he had on his Facebook page. You know, my nephew, I went to visit his apartment the day after he was killed. And I'm telling you, it's nothing like seeing your blood splattered on some walls and to see somebody's brain splattered on the walls. And Pastor, I don't know how y'all do it. My brother asked me to do the eulogy. And, I'd done a few eulogies, but this was different because this is somebody I was close to. So I will never forget, I was sitting up at 4 o'clock in the morning after being up all night trying to figure out what to say. And there's a reason I'm saying this. And I kept looking at the words on my screen, eulogy of Christopher Cummings. I couldn't get in my mind that I was actually writing the eulogy. Anybody know what you understand? I just couldn't put it together. But then my spirit said, go to his Facebook page. I went to the Facebook page. And the first thing I saw was, it said, people who I admire most. The first one was Barack Obama, President Barack Obama. The third one was Lil Wayne. I said, thanks. I didn't know who Lil Wayne was. The second one was my uncle, Elijah. But then I kept scrolling down the page. And I want to leave these words because this was his motto. About every 5th or 6th, maybe 7th entry that he put in, he put these words. He said, first, he said, speak my mind, pour out my heart, and love my soul. To my young brothers, I beg you to become as well educated as you can become. Learn all that you can learn. Learn things that seem to be totally irrelevant. Learn Socrates and Voltaire, Plato and Aristotle, all of them. Learn. Be as worldly as you can possibly be. Be informed. Read your books. Try to read about at least 50 pages a day of something. Be informed. And then go out and take your experience with your intelligence and what you have learned from this and speak your mind. We need y'all speaking your mind. We need somebody to talk about and talk for the brothers who may not have the benefits that you have had. We need somebody to stand up for little Bubba and Shanidi and all them. Somebody needs to speak, oh God needs to speak up for them and not look down on them. Speak your mind. And can I tell you something? The experiences that you have, remember I told you before that when negative things happen to you, don't ask why did it happen to me, but ask why did that happen for me. Believe me, all those things that happen to you are preparing you for something, even the negative. They will put you in a position where you can talk about things that other people can't talk about. There is nobody in the Congress of the United States of America who can talk about the inner city like I can, because I live there. Number 2, he said, pour out your heart. And what he meant by that is like Kenan. whatever you do, Councilman Stokes is so glad to see you. What he was trying to say was when you pour out your heart, he's saying, whatever you do the best that you can do. And can I tell you a little secret? When you're pouring out your heart, make sure you don't get married to the results. In other words, what I'm saying to you is that a lot of times people are always worried about what the end result is going to be. And because they're worried about what the end result is going to be, they do nothing. Because they're in fear that they're going to fail. Some of them are in fear that they're going to succeed. But what you do is you say, I need to pour out my heart. I need to give it everything I've got. That's what Kenan has done. That's what Keith has done. That's what the facilitators have done. They have poured out their hearts to you to make you better. And finally, he said, love your soul. Love this awesome body that you have. I was so glad to hear somebody talking about, a facilitator talking about nutrition. Take care of this precious body that you have, because I promise you, when you reach my age, you'll hope that you have it. Come on now, don't leave me out here by myself. Your body is so very, very precious. Very, very precious. And I know this piece is going to, maybe twist some people the wrong way. But feed your spirit and your soul. Can I tell you a little secret? We have people who come to me. In the Congress, I have about 70 people who work for me. All colors. And we have people coming every day who say things like this: Congressman, I'm making $200,000, but I'm willing to come and take a cut of $75,000 because I've been working on this job for 10 years and it does not allow me to feed my soul. Come on now. The feeding of the soul is something calling out to you, saying that this is about your purpose. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And find those things that you know drive you and make you feel good and make you want to be the best that you can do. Be things that you would do and not have to be paid for. Because that is the God in you talking to you. Oh, God. So, my brothers, I will end with a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for these awesome brothers. God, we realize that just a few years ago they weren't even born. And you created them. You created them for great things. And God, we know that there are many things that will come in their way, but remind them that they are great and they have come from great people. God, remind them that they have appointments with success and they got to meet them. God, remind them that even in their pain, you create pain in their lives so that they can have passion, so that they can go out and carry out their purpose. God, we thank you for these young brothers. We thank you for their hearts. We thank you for their dreams. We thank you for their parents. We thank you for Kenan and the Keith and the facilitators and Pastor McCorn. We thank you for all these people who have decided that it's not robbery to lift up our children so that another generation might go higher instead of going lower. Lord, we beg you to allow them to be an example for other young boys to look up to. Allow them to have high standards. Give them the courage, the strength, the wisdom, and the humility to be all that you meant for them to be. And God, if you do that, and even if you don't, but if you do it, we'll be so happy. And we'll give you the praise. Amen.
Give all praises to God. Good evening, friends and family. My name is Timothy Austin, and I attend the
Mount Washington Middle School. I am a 7th grade student, and I am a member of the Pennsylvania Avenue AME Zion Church. I live in the Reservoir Hill area in Baltimore City. My project name is Plant Your Future. I chose this project because I am a member of the Green Club in my community. I know the importance of planting in the ecosystem. My mission is to enlighten the male youth in their community to show them the importance of planting and caring for trees. This project has many benefits. Did you know that trees can count as a canopy and can help clean the air that we breathe? Well, they really do, and at a great degree. Support from others is important because I will need resource contacts because it's going to take a majority to help clean the air that we breathe. To start this program, I will pass out flyers to get my crew interested. I will take ages 9 to 11. I should carry this project out with the assistance from the Community Program Director of the Environmental Issue, Mr. Teddy Curley. My team will wear T-shirts saying, "Plant your future," because without clean air, there will be no future. Thank you.
My name is Shamar Carrington. I'm 13 years old. I go to South Pennsylvania. I'm in 7th grade. Now, by show of hands, how many of you see trash on the ground? How many of you take your time to pick it up? Some of us say we have no worries, but when we look at the trash on the ground, we realize we have worries. Well, today I'm here to tell you about a group called the Gospel. This group can help you build a community and also help you get connected with Christ. We are built the same day in a month. And we will have workshops to help you pursue your dreams and be who you are. Now we've been in our room this school our next meeting. Hold fast to dreams, support dreams that life is a broken where they cannot fly.
Good evening. My name is Victor Estrada. I go to Old Park Middle School and I'm 11 years old. My project is called Helping All because my project is about getting males and females to stop playing sports because most kids sit in the house playing the game, but they can't be in the game by putting down the remote and finding a team. The benefits are that you're more active playing in the game rather on the game. I will start this project by having flyers and radio advertisements, and that's how I will start my project.
How's everybody doing tonight? Before I get started, let's give the first couple of speakers a round of applause. My name is Rashawn Fitzgerald. I'm 13 years old. I attend Magnitude and I am in the 8th grade. The name of my project is Stray Cats Need Love Too. I chose this project because I see a lot of stray cats roaming the street. Now I know we're above seeing stray cats roaming the street, right? Well, the mission of my project is to get stray cats from off the street. The benefit of my project will open up adoption opportunities for cats. What inspired me to do this is my love for animals and the traumatizing images in my head from seeing dead cats in streets and pavements. In order to create my project, I will need donations, grants, and a rescue team. In order to carry out my project, I will need my project, I would have to team up with another rescue organization and then start my own organization. In conclusion, this is my project, and I thank you all for listening.
Hello, how is everyone tonight? First off, my name is Joshua Fitzy. I attend Kit Redeemer Village Academy. I'm 11 years old. I'm in the 5th grade. Our project is called Keep It Moving. It is to help disabled people build confidence and strengthen their arms and legs depending on what their disability comes from. What inspired me is my friend Marcus. He was once in a wheelchair because he had to go a little pebble and hit his leg on a big boulder. He needed a lot of love and support to get through his injury, to get through surgery on his leg. Does anyone know someone that is disabled? Have you ever asked him what it feels like? Well, they will probably say that it feels painful and not good. They probably also think that they won't be the same anymore. Like their dreams have been crushed from being the next Ray Lewis or LeBron James. But that can all change if they just come to my project program. This is going to be fun for them and a good benefit for me. I'm going to need a lot of money for support, footballs, and basketball. I will have to get this around to people with flyers and somehow get a commercial. Thank you all for listening and good night.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Sylvester Graham. I attend the Paul Millman School. I am 11 years old. The name of my project is 4 Steps to Make It Home. The things that we will be doing are practicing how to hit, catch, and throw. The reason why I made this project is because some of my teammates said I can't do this. The person who will help me is my dad, Sylvester Graham. The things that we will be needing are a baseball field, bats, gloves, and caps. It will be near Windsor. The things I will need, need players and fundraisers. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. How is everybody doing tonight? My name is Darius Hernandez, and I'm going to discuss with you how I'm working with Young Men with Fires to help the homeless in my community. The project that I'm working on will be called Poverty Helpers. How I plan to accomplish this is by helping the homeless in my community restart their lives and get back up on their feet. What I mean by that is this: helping them with job placement, finding housing for them, and finding more locations for homeless shelters. The thing that I know that I can do right now to help the homeless in my community is to deliver care packages to those who are on the street and people that are in poverty. There is also, what inspired me to do this is a homeless woman on Calvin East Saratoga named Miss Terry. Me and my mom help Miss Terry, and she accepts what we give to her. We give her things like lotion, baby wipes, hand sanitizer, chapstick, and chapstick. We also buy her food or share our food with her. Thank you for listening.
My name is Gavin Howard. I go to Martin Academy. I'm 11 years old. My project name is Church of Heaven. I'm doing the project because my sister is so good at math and English. I'm going to make a online napkin for my sister. I am going to get my friend Marquise Johnson to help me make this online napkin. There will also be a website that so other families can help their brothers and sisters in math. I will have a math camp. It will be from Monday through Friday, 9 to 12. To make the website, I will need money and support. This is why I chose this project. Thank you for your time and support.
How y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight? My name is Marquise Johnson. I'm in 8th grade. I'm 13. I attend Friendship Academy of Science Technology. Yeah. Okay. Let's start with the first part. www. What does that mean? Yeah. So let's start with the first two parts. Worldwide. What does that mean? Global. No. Let's start with the last part. What does that mean? All together. So what my project's trying to do is get people who don't have computers and internet. So they can do research and search. And if you do have Wi-Fi, then you know. So by a show of hands, how many of you know a person who doesn't have internet? Whoa. So if you do have internet, you know what to do. Research, search up things, print, and you do all that handy dandy stuff. But what do people without internet do? They write on a piece of paper. That could be water damage, any accident can happen. It'll be gone forever. But then with a computer, it can be saved back in profiles. You can put it across files, anything. So what we're trying to do is get these people who don't have internet and computers. So they can research, so they can search for things, so they can save their files, profiles, anything they want. All the many stuff we people can do. So to get this off the ground, I need you, some volunteers, I need money, not a big deal. And so we're going to start this at my school, and we're going to hang out flyers around, and I'm going to get friends from the school to help me, and this fine man inside the audience somewhere, Marcus Dent, because he already gave me a card, and I'm trying to get in contact. So it's the network, so let's let the net work, and thank you for listening.
How is everybody doing tonight? My name is Keisha Lucky. I am 12 years old. I attend a school. The name of my project is If You Can Help One, You Can Help All. I chose this project because of my classmate Deontay. He was homeless 2 weeks away from Christmas because his house burned down. And I said, and I asked my teacher one day in school, I said, what can I do to help this kid? She said, you can't do nothing. You're just a kid. I said, you're right, I can't do nothing, but I'm going to do something. So the benefit of this project is that homeless people will be off the street and on their feet. We will try to get them housing. The housing is for so we can make sure they have health, safety, and their welfare. We want to get them food, job applications so they can get back on their feet and in a home and start on their home. I would like your help, and we would like to have donating. We would have charity events that we would like you to join in. And I want to thank you for your time.
Hello, how's everyone doing tonight? My name is Tyrone McHugh. I'm 11 years old. I attend at Rockmell Heights Elementary. I'm in the 5th grade, and my project is called Time to Clean the Earth. Time to Clean the Earth is when people in the community go around, pick up trash on their streets, and they can take it to the recycling
project is recycling because the community that I live in doesn't currently have any recycling. The community that I live in is an apartment complex. But I wanted to be recycling in my community because we just have dumpsters and no recycling. And the dumpsters are full sometimes. And anyway, so I want recycling to be in my community. So to do this, I must first set up an appointment with the manager and get her permission to set up recycling bins in my community. And then I must find a place to place the bins. After that, I must set up a schedule with the city and trash people to pick up the recycling. And thank you for your time.
Hello everyone. My name is Kyrie Scarlett, and I attend Middle Academy, and I'm 14 years old. And my project is, if you can help one, you can help all. I chose this project because I want to make a difference in myself by helping others. I want them to know that you are not alone in this world. There's someone out there who cares. I'm talking about the homeless people. The people with no food, no money, and no life. Life is life, but you can change it. I love saying this. With great power comes with great responsibility. I know that everyone in this room had that power and that responsibility. How about you use that power? When I was 10 years old, man, this is way bad. When I was 10 years old, I went with my grandmother by the post office to help feed the homeless. How I felt when I left, I felt that pain, I felt that sadness. After that, I felt that connection. I want to help my local communities. I want to help my local community soup kitchen to provide them with food and supplies. If we come together, it's all it takes. If we can help one, we got it all. Before I leave, I want to say this. I know everybody in the Young Man Power should know this. If you had died today without realizing, how would the person recognize you and what you had accomplished? And this was by Keenan. Thank you.
Hello. I'm sorry. Hello. My name is Jeremy C. I'm 14 years old. I attend Blues Junior System Academy West. The name of my project is This Time is the Right Time, Part 1. I'm telling you, the reason I'm doing this project is because I was born with undeveloped leg muscles. That is why I'm not doing, that is why I'm doing this project. I'm doing this project because of the way I was born. It makes me upset when I see kids my age with the problems that I have. And the reason that I'm doing this project is because I cannot play most sports like other people. I go to sleep and I dream of LeBron James. I dream. And someday I hope that dream can come true. So I'm going to start my project at William S. Band School and Coppin State University. And thank you for listening.
My name is Timothy Shelton III. I attend Blues Junior System Academy West, and now I'm 14 years old. The name of my project is called This Time is the Right Time, Part 2, and I'm going to give you some background information on this evening. Now, by show of hands, has anybody ever seen a young man like myself sitting around doing nothing my size? It's pretty big, right? Well, that's the point of my people like me when I was young. The benefit of me opening the sports campus is to see the children I help make it. What inspires me to open this sports campus is to help other children and motivate them just as well as my parents and grandparents motivate me. I will start this sports camp by opening fundraisers, getting the money, and saving in the bank account. The sports camp will start in Baltimore, Maryland, and start at the school because if you don't have God or an education, you don't have anything. Thank you.
How's everyone doing tonight? Can you please give a round of applause for the first 15 people in front of me? My name is Isaiah Smith, and I attend General John Stricker Middle School when I'm 13 years old. My project name is Project X. The reason I picked Project X is because my friend, Daquan Edison. On June 12, 2010, Daquan went to a lake near our neighborhood where we would go and hang out with our friends. Sometimes on this particular day, I was not there with him because I was going with my mom. My friends met him that he couldn't swim 10 meters. Daquan jumped in and swam 9 meters, and his foot got caught in the shot because someone pushed in the water. On that day, my friend Daquan drowned. In our neighborhood, we have a rec center called West Eminence Center. The mission of this project is to get my community rec center to offer 4 activities for young adults all year round. The activities they currently hold are all geared towards 12 and under. I would like to make my project program free or for the lowest cost possible, so that low-income and single-parent families are able to participate. The importance of people supporting this project is to get young adults off the streets and out of danger. Although I don't go there anymore, what happened to Daquan could have happened to me. To start this project, I will need support and donations from youth in our community. I will begin to create and carry out this project by talking to the building managers and owners to see if we can use the building, and that is just the beginning of many things that need to be done. This is for Project X involved. Please don't let any more of my friends become victims of situations such as Daquan or even drugs, game violence, or crimes. Thank you for your time. Good night.
Dr. Martin Luther King once said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And I add to that by saying, if you never help someone, then what is your purpose in life? On Saturday, October 8th, 2011, while I was traveling on I-95, traveling from College Park to Baltimore, Maryland, to attend a student government conference, I fell asleep behind the wheel. And my car rolled over into a ditch. I remember not being able to see because my glasses fell off. I remember walking alongside the highway, trying to wave someone down to stop and help me. I remember crying, seeing the cars pass me, and no one stopping to help. I remember calling 911 for help, but being unable to tell them what area of the highway I was on. And after all that happened, I was able to walk out of shock trauma the next morning with no bruises or scars. And that's when I realized that God's favor and mercy protected me from harm. I knew that God protected me and He wasn't through with me yet. And ladies and gentlemen, that day I learned that life is not promised. We could be here today and gone today. It was those words of Dr. King that touched my soul. What are you doing for others? It was that day that I decided I had to do something for my community. With help of family and friends and my pastor, Young Men with Power was born. I wanted to create a program that would empower and inspire young men, to let them know that they can possess moral character, self-awareness, and promote community service. With help and support of so many people, Young Men with Power was founded and began seeking participants. Over the last 4 months, these 16 young men have made me more humble and more selfless. I designed this program to teach these young men, and in return, they have taught me. These young men have taught me to have patience, to dream big, and to never give up. And for that, I thank each and every one of you all. Tonight, we complete this Young Men with Power program. You are young men with power, young men with purpose, young men with optimism, young men with wisdom, young men with engagement, and young men with responsibility. Each of you have accomplished self-reliant manhood, responsibility, self-esteem, ethical values, and cultural proficiency, and for that I congratulate you. Each of you will go on to do great things and become great people. Just remember as you move up the ladder to reach back and pull others up with you. Remember that failure is not an option and success is not a choice. I repeat that again. Failure is not an option and success is not a choice. Your success will not be measured by the number of tailored suits you have or the amount of money you may make, but your success will be measured by your ability to give back and help others. Each of you will succeed, and remember, you will make mistakes, but it's how you rebound from those mistakes that matters most. When temptations and peer pressure start to knock at your door, remember you are someone because God does not make junk. Thank you.